I am.
Good evening. I will call to order a regular meeting of the Wilmington Board of Selectmen. It is Monday, April 18th, 2022. The next item on our agenda, if you would stand and join me. Join us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, I'll just make sure the record shows that Selectman Bulick, I apologize, I called him Selectman Blessington last week, and I are in person, and Dr. Selectwoman Boris is joining us virtually. So I will leave that to begin this meeting with joining me in congratulating Dr. Boris, which I will use often, on the completion of her PhD work from UConn. So congratulations. It is certainly something worth recognizing, and I know you put lots of hard work and many years into this great accomplishment. So congratulations to you, Dr. Boris.
Thank you so much.
Told her I would at least be saying doctor as many times as I could in a couple of meetings.
Sounds good. I won't stop you.
On our agenda is you don't have any minutes in your packet. We are finishing those up, and so we will approve them at our next regular meeting. Excuse me. Present to speak. There's no one in the room, but is there anyone? Let's not sure Kelsey if she'd like to speak. Is there anyone on the call who would like to speak? If so, I ask you to please state your name for the record and limit yourself to 2 minutes. You should be able to unmute. So is there anyone present to speak? Going once, going twice. None. All right, moving along. Correspondence. There is a list of correspondence in your packet. I will just note that the first was a letter of thanks from the town manager and the town of Hebron. Our animal control officer, Tina Binheimer, and her assistants were integral in part of an animal recovery incident in the town of Hebron at the end or beginning of April, end of March. And so we received a letter commending them on the work they did to assist in that manner. So congratulations to Tina on their efforts. As a result, we have a couple of animals from that incident being held here. And then there is assistance paying for that to the town. So glad we were able to step in and help. All right, first Selectman Reports. We have signed the contract for the steep grant hall septic and the work inside with that process, and hopefully we can get things underway this spring. School building committee. The committee will meet again this week, this Wednesday at 6:30. Our last meeting, we were still discussing, we did go into an executive session to discuss potential land acquisition. As you know, the committee is looking in 2 directions and evaluating land as part of that. And one is potential renovation of Hall School, and the other is a potential new school on a new site. So we're moving forward with that. The land assessment committee has been very active and in assessing what our potential options are. Lot SIP grant, again, this is the sidewalk project on Route 32 between Hall School and the Mills. The RFP for the design work, which is a portion that the town is responsible for, is out to bid. And we've given them a little over 3 weeks. So the question period is just about up. And so hopefully we will see in the next 2 weeks RFPs on that work. The truck leases, we're still waiting for the F-350 and no new update on that. ARPA commission, there's an item on the agenda later. Union negotiations, Again, will be later on this agenda. We could potentially be wrapping up this process. As far as staffing, we do have 3 openings. They're currently all in progress. The assistant transfer station operator position closes next week. So we're still accepting applications. That is 3 days a week at the transfer station, Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Excuse me. The payroll coordinator position, as you all know, Amanda is leaving us to move down the road to Center School. Her last day is next Wednesday. We've begun interviewing for that position. And the Public Works Director position, as you both know, you're both on the hiring committee, and we have, we'll be extending the posting and sharing it far and wide to allow for more applicants. COVID-19, as of April 14th, the town sits at 69% fully vaccinated. That's a 5% increase over our last report. So I'm happy to see those numbers increase. We have had, there's a slight uptick in the state. And as far as positive cases, we've seen 7 more cases since our last meeting. And we are an increase in an overall rate of 7.3 cases per 10,000. We were at 6.1 in the last number. But again, hospitalizations have not increased. They've been pretty standard. We are seeing some people, some areas go back to some mask mandates and some changes. I'm not advocating for that currently here in Wellington. I know Yukon has in some places brought their mask mandate back, but we'll continue to evaluate as needed. Excuse me. Any questions or comments on my update?
Just one.
Yes.
The old town hall septic system. Is there a start work date on that?
No, we'll have to go out to bid on all of that work, and so it's twofold. There's the septic system, and then there's some work on the inside of the buildings and painting.
Do we have an idea?
Reglazing. No, not yet. We just signed the contract end of last week. And so I saw some questions out to, are we at deep? No, we're DPH. We went from deep to DPH. The funding is supposedly available July 1. They said we could go out to bid before that. But so I have some questions as to whether or not the work has to wait until July 1 to happen. So I hope by our next meeting I'll have some information.
Okay. I know we use the green, so.
Yeah, so, well, and part of what we'll do is be cognizant of the use of that. So Memorial Day, we wouldn't want to do anything that would interfere with Memorial Day as we go back to our normal activities. And then the next event on the green is in September. So if we can, you know, get it in there.
Right.
So as to not affect the potential use. I think the Federated Church has already asked for the green for the flea market, so we have to be cognizant of that as well.
We know we have a car show. And,
yeah. So we'll do our best to work around those activities. All right, Public Works. As you're all aware, Troy has finished up his work with us. And so there's no one here to report. Lucian Bissett, who is the crew leader, is currently assisting in taking over some duties there in the absence of a director. And the Public Works crew has been begun street sweeping. So it's dependent on whether or not you see them out there currently. And so I need to work with Lou to get a list of roads that they're working on so we can put those out to the public. We like to advertise those so they're aware that street sweeping is going to be happening. So we'll be looking to post that. They've been working on grading dirt roads along with all of their other activities. And, you know, yesterday it looked like they might need to put a plow back on, but that nonsense ended quickly. So we'll see what tonight brings us as far as Public Works goes. All right. ARPA Commission, that brings us to old business, ARPA Commission. We met earlier today. We've not called a public hearing. We still have a few more items that we have some information we're waiting on, and thought we would wait to hold a public meeting. So maybe later, end of May, we will have one of those. We did hear 3 new projects. A handful of new projects came through today. One was in the senior center for about $3,000 and some technology needs, Wi-Fi upgrades and some computer equipment there, as well as a $200,000, excuse me, up to $200,000 request from the Wellington Housing Authority. The request is for it's 2 parts. It's for a generator for Button Hill, as well as an emergency call button system. So that will move forward to a public hearing and the public's input. There's still, we did not move that one forward. We're waiting for them to get us back some pricing information to have more discussion on it. So there's still some funding available. There's lots of projects that have not been approved to move forward to, but we're getting close to requests that equal the 1.7 million. As of today, we were about $192,000 from that. But again, not all of those have been approved by the commission. That's just the number, the amount of requests that have come in. So right now there's requests that equal just under the $1.7 million.
And I think in the process, as we've gone through it, some things came in under what we thought.
So it looks like they are. So far, what we did today was we actually closed out 2 projects. Only 2 have been completely completed. Money expended, the project all done. That's the senior center air conditioning work and the new air purifiers for this building. And that returned just over $5,000. There are other projects, the basement project on May 5th. The dehumidifiers will be installed, and that project will then be complete, and I anticipate that one to be about $14,000 under budget, which was great news. The radios for Public Works that have ordered, it appears that there'll be about a $10,000 savings, but our process is to close out and return any unspent funds to Fund 19, which is the ARPA fund. When it's completed, all invoices have been received and all bills have been paid. So right now we only have 2 projects that fall into that category. So we'll put just over $5,000 back into that fund to be able to be spent and continue to do so. Some of the reporting we heard from organizations today is that several projects have been under budget. It looks like they will be under budget, but we haven't actually expended the funds. So our process is to wait until all of that the dust has settled, everything's been paid, and then we'll put the money back in and make it available.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the first round of reporting is April 30th. So our business manager is preparing to do that work now. And that's why we took the step to close those projects out, because we know they have been completed. Any other ARPA questions? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to new business. Excuse me. All right, so we have several tax refunds. I will move to refund ACAR Leasing Ltd. a certificate of correction in the amount of $301.79. Seconded by Jim. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Motion carries. I'll move to refund ACAR Leasing Ltd. a certificate of correction in the amount of $88.80.
Second.
Eliza, any discussion? Seeing none, vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I move excuse me, to refund Nissan Infinity LT LLC a certificate of correction in the amount of $221.03.
Second.
Seconded by Jim. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. I will move to refund Nissan Infinity LT C, a certificate of correction in the amount of $306.65. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Liza. Any discussion? Seeing none, I will call the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. And last, I will move to refund Nissan Infinity LT LLC, a certificate of correction in the amount of $159.93.
Second.
Seconded by Jim. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of new business. Do either of you have any new business you would like us to consider adding to the agenda? All right, seeing none, did you say no?
No.
Okay, sorry. That will move us again to present to speak. If you are on the call and you would like to speak, please state your name for the record and limit yourself to 2 minutes. Going once, going twice, moving right along. Good and welfare. I have a March report from Troop C. We had 382 calls for service. They included 11 accidents, 8 criminal investigations, 0 burglaries, 2 larcenies, 231 non-reportable matters, and 7 total arrests. Motor vehicle enforcement included 123 total traffic stops, 3 on-site DUIs, 4 arrests, 1 misdemeanor summons, 43 infractions, 19 written warnings, and 51 verbal warnings. Mobile food share, again, is every other Wednesday from 11 to 11:30 here at the town office building. The next mobile food share is next Wednesday, April 27th. As always, if you are able to, please support our small businesses and restaurants. My note to congratulate Dr. Selectwoman Florence. Just put that in there again. May 16th meeting. So we have our next meeting will be Monday, May 2nd. May 16th, I will not be here and available. Would you all like to cancel that meeting? Continue to meet?
I have a potential conflict on that as well.
Okay.
I didn't hear what you said, Jim. I'm sorry.
I might have a potential conflict on May 16th.
Okay. Yeah, I would say if the first select woman cannot attend, that we should cancel or reschedule.
We do have business that needs to be conducted between May 2nd and the first meeting in June. Then we'll reach out to both of you to potentially set a date for a regular meeting. Okay, thank you.
We need a special meeting.
Yes.
Yeah,
all right. Yes, for a special meeting.
Yeah, we can do
in place of our regular meeting.
Yeah. Always.
We don't often cancel, but sometimes our schedules dictate such. I will remind everyone that tomorrow is the annual town budget meeting that adjourns to referendum that's scheduled for May 3rd. So if you can attend, it is only in person. It is not hybrid. It will be at 7 p.m. tomorrow at the Old Town Hall. All right. And seeing no other good and welfare, do either of you have anything for good and welfare? All right. So I will move to go into executive session regarding the proposed DPW employees union contract and invite our attorney, Ryan O'Donnell.
Second.
Seconded by Liza. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So we're going to pause the recording. If you're on the meeting, we will put you into the waiting room. And when we leave executive session, I will bring you back into the meeting to join us. So we came out of executive session at 7:17. I will move to approve the previously tentatively approved working agreement between the town of Willington and Town Hall and DPW employees, local number 1303-0 121 of Council for American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, AFL-CIO, effective July 1, 2021 through June 30, 2024.
Second.
There's seconded by Dr. Boritz. Is there any discussion? Any discussion, Liza?
Nope.
I will publicly thank our attorney, Ryan O'Donnell, for his diligent work in this manner on our behalf over the last year.
Thank you.
So, no other discussion. I will ask for a roll call vote.
Liza,
Aye.
Aye.
Erica,
Aye. Motion carries. And 15 notepads here on my desk. I will entertain that. That is the last item of business on our agenda. So seeing no business, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned.
Second,
Second. Yeah.
debatable matter. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you all. Dr. Boritz, feel better?
Thank you.
Thank you all for having me. Appreciate it.